Core principles, universal destination of goods and property. We know from Revelation that we and the cosmos have been created by a loving God. Even before creation, God chose us to be His adopted children, and He thirsts for our relationship with Him. We can live out our life in attentiveness towards God and responding to His loving advances. This conditions the way that we view ourselves, other people, and the entire cosmos with all its richness and astounding diversity. The world is a gift given by God, and we are to be stewards of it, using its lush wealth, but not destroying it in egoist manipulation. Since natural riches are a gift, they are to be received in joy and wonder, but also in gratitude towards the giver, with a willingness to share the gift with others. Received gifts can be reciprocated. The view of creation that is specifically religious has not always been held. Francis Bacon, who lived at the turn of the 16th and 17th centuries, came up with the idea that nature is just out there and it can be used at whim. Even more, he held that we can subdue nature and extract its secrets just as a prisoner is tortured so as to obtain information from him. This led to the development of the experimental sciences with their extraordinary success. But there is something unpleasant in this approach, as it brackets out our relationship to the Creator. In this view, nature is seen to be just dumb stuff, having a mere facticity with no deeper meaning. Our contemporary ecological awareness rebels against the torturing of nature. We understand that we need to respect the laws of nature and preserve the richness of the earth, defending biodiversity. Moreover, a purely factual view of created goods distorts our relationship with others. If we do not see the divine gift in what surrounds us, we fail to see the hand of the Heavenly Father. And then we treat other people as rivals in the process of torturing the earth for our egoist needs, and not as brothers and sisters. A theological view of creation has implications in social life. The first conclusion deriving from a grateful and filial regard of the world is the fact that all goods and property have a universal destination. This doesn't mean that we are not to possess private property and be responsible for its wise use. We cannot live in anarchy with all people possessing all the goods at the same time, because this would lead to conflicts, or to the state possession of everything, meaning that individuals would be mere slaves of the one owner that is the state. Such a system destroys private initiative and creativity and generates passivity. We can hold private property, and this is conducive to personal dignity. But private possession has to be socially and legally regulated. The origin of individual property is work. Those who honestly earned wealth have a right to possess it and use it according to their ideas. Private property allows for personal and family autonomy. It stimulates responsibility and civil liberty. All people should be enabled to become owners of some property, thereby acquiring social and financial security. But possession does not mean absolute dominion over owned goods with a disregard for the needs of others. In times gone by, landowners accepted that the poor had access to their forests in search for firewood, mushrooms, fruits, and wild game. The principle of the universal destination of goods reminds that mankind is to share the earth and all it contains under the guidance of justice, tempered by charity. This principle is a natural, inherent right, and it has a moral priority over legal systems. Property rights have to take this norm into account. Economic systems are to be inspired by moral values. The creation of wealth is to take on a positive and social function. That is why the right to private property is not absolute and untouchable. Where there are vast disproportions of land ownership, at some moment there were moves that impose its equitable distribution, and this is not unjust. Private property is not an end, but a means. Owners need to focus not only on their own needs, but also the common good. Once they have taken care for their needs and those of their family, they should think how they can offer their acquired wealth to some good cause in which they would like to participate. Privately owned goods that can be shared are not only land, but also capital and intellectual know-how. Owners should not idolize their wealth. It is a gift of God and a tool for growth of individuals and peoples. The marginalized and those living in extreme conditions are to be of special concern. The hungry, the needy, the homeless are to be offered means for a dignified living. Those who have been unsuccessful are entrusted to the care of the more proficient. Freely we have received talents and gifts from God, and we are called to give freely in charity. All in some way have received, and all can share. And those who give as they do may perceive the spiritual richness and personal charm of those who benefit from their generosity. Thus, in giving, they also receive.
In the next episode, we'll see what Polish solidarity strikers and medieval kings had in common. If this is the first episode you've watched, we recommend you watch the introductory episode of this series next.